Today I'm going to tell you something that you might not want to hear, but if you've been working your butt off, staying book solid, and still wondering why your bank account doesn't reflect all of that effort, this is for you. Because here it is, being affordable is not the smart business strategy that you think it is. It's not protecting you, it's not building loyalty, and it's definitely not helping you grow a sustainable, profitable salon business. In fact, it's probably doing the exact opposite. So in this video, I'm going to show you why staying affordable is quietly sabotaging your business, what to do instead. And this might sting a little, but I promise you, it's the wake-up call that you need. Let's dive in. A few years ago, I was sitting at my kitchen table at 11 p.m. staring at my bank account. I had a fully booked week, like fully booked. No gaps, no buffers, no cancellations, barely time for lunch, and I was exhausted. And when I looked at my account, after gas, groceries, rent, bills, etc., I maybe had $800 left after working over 40 hours that week. And I remember thinking, how is this possible? I'm booked solid. I should be making way more than this. Here's what I didn't understand at the time. I wasn't booked with profitability. I was booked with affordable clients. And there's a massive difference because I had spent years positioning myself as the affordable hairstylist in my town. I thought it made me accessible. I thought it made me likable. I thought it was a smart way to build a client base because if I was cheaper than everybody else, people would choose me, right? Wrong. What actually happened was this. I attracted clients who only cared about price, clients who didn't value the transformation, the time, the skill, the expertise, people who would be price sensitive, maybe ask for discounts, maybe show up late, maybe complain if I raised prices by $5. And I stayed stuck, working harder than ever, but making less than I really wanted. And that's when I realized affordable isn't a business strategy, it's a trap. And if you're stuck in it right now, you're not alone. Let me show you why this keeps happening and how to get out. Okay, so let's talk about transactional versus transformational services. And here's what most people don't realize. There is a difference between transactional and transformational, and your pricing signals which one you are. So let's define transactional. A transactional service is task-based. The client's hiring you to do a thing, and the thing matters more than the experience. Think about it like getting your oil changed. You're not looking for a relationship with your mechanic. You're not asking about their credentials or reading reviews for hours. You just want someone who can do it fast, do it cheap, and get you back on the road. That's transactional. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with that. Some stylists, they want to do high volume, low price, transactional business. They move fast, keep it simple, serve a lot of people. But if that's not the business that you want to build, you want to offer premium consults, custom formulas, luxurious experience, long-term client relationships, then you can't charge transactional. Transformational is the other one. It's very much results-based. Client isn't just hiring you to do hair. They're hiring you to help them feel confident, beautiful, like the best version of themselves. They're hiring you for your expertise, your eye, your years of training, and the experience that you create. Think of it like hiring a personal stylist or working with a therapist. You're not just paying for the hour, you're paying for the transformation and the results. And that is premium because they take more time, more skill, more energy, and more care. And so that's what I want you to understand. When you price yourself as affordable, you're positioning yourself as transactional, even if the service is transformational. And that creates a massive disconnect because the client who wants transformation, they are willing to pay for it. They understand that, but they're not going to book you if your pricing is transactional. And the clients who just want something fast and cheap, they're going to be frustrated with you because you're asking them to step into a transformational experience that they don't even want. You end up serving the wrong people and repelling the right ones. And so the question isn't, should I charge more or less? The question really is, what kind of bucket am I actually going to serve? Which one do I want to be? Do I want to be transformational or transactional? Because if you're running a transformational business, you need transformational pricing, period. Transformational means you have smaller audience, higher prices. Transactional means you have larger audience with cheaper prices. So let's get to the real math behind profitability. Let me tell you about Nicole. Nicole had been behind the chair for 8 years when we started working together. She was talented, educated, invested in advanced color classes, offered consults, created custom formulas. She was running a transformational business, but she was charging $180 for a full highlight with a root melt and a blowout because she looked around at what everybody else in her area was charging and thought, I should probably be somewhere in the middle so I don't scare people off. Sound familiar? Here's the problem with that. It's not grounded in math or your unique expenses at all. So pricing based on what everybody else is doing is not a good business strategy. And so I asked her, how much do you actually need to make per hour for this business to work for you? And so that's what we did. When we did that math, we put it together in a simple Google sheet. So a high-level way for you to calculate your profit per hour is, number one, write down all of your monthly overhead. So for Nicole, that was suite rent, $800, product and supplies, $400 a month, insurance, $100 a month, marketing and software, $150 a month, continuing education fund, $200, total monthly overhead, $1,650. Step 2. Figure out how many hours you're actually working per week. So Nicole worked 5 days a week, 7 hours a day behind the chair. That's 35 billable hours per week. You got to multiply that by 4 weeks. That is 140 billable hours per month. Step 3. Divide your overhead by your billable hours. So $1,650 divided by 140 is $11.78 per hour. That's how much she would have to make per hour just to cover her business expenses if she was actually booked solid for every single hour behind the chair. Not her salary, not taxes, not savings, just to break even. Step 4, add in what you actually want to pay yourself. So Nicole wanted to make $5,000 a month take home before taxes. So we added that to her overhead. So $1,650 overhead divided by $5,000 salary equals $6,650 a month. Now divide that by the billable hours. 6,650 divided by 140 equals 47.50 an hour. That's the minimum profit per hour. Anything less than that, Nicole is either not paying herself or going into debt. So now here's where it gets interesting. So when we broke down Nicole's $180 full highlight, the consult was 15 minutes, application was an hour, processing for 30, rinse, tone, blow dry 45 minutes, total time 2.5 hours. So $180 divided by 2.5 hours is $72 an hour, which is above the minimum profit, right? But not quite, because we hadn't factored in product cost yet. Step 5, you've got to subtract your product cost per service. So for a full highlight, Nicole was using about $25 in product. So the actual profit was $155. Still above the minimum, but barely. And that's before taxes, which for a self-employed stylist is usually around 25 to 30%. After taxes, Nicole was making about $43 an hour. She was literally working for less than her minimum profit per hour and wondering why she wasn't as profitable as she wanted to be. And this is what I mean when I say affordable is failing you. Nicole wasn't undercharging because she didn't know her worth. She was undercharging because she didn't know her numbers. And when you don't know your numbers, you can not make profitable decisions. So here's what we did. We raised the full highlight to $240. Same service, same quality, priced correctly. So the math looked like this. 240 minus $25 in product equals 215. 215 divided by 2.5 hours equals $86 an hour. After taxes, $60 an hour. So that's $17 an hour more per client. Over the course of a month, that's an extra $2,380. Over a year, $28,560. That's the difference between guessing and knowing your numbers. And here's the best part. She lost 3 clients when she raised those prices, 3 out of 60. Within 2 months, Nicole was consistently making $7,500 a month instead of $5,200, working the same hours. Had breathing room, afforded to take a week off without panicking, started saving for the first time in years. That's the difference between pricing based on what everyone else in the area is charging and pricing based on what your business needs to thrive. So here's what to do instead. Okay, so now that we've determined affordable is not the answer, here's what I want you to do. Number 1, stop comparing yourself to everybody else in your area. I don't care what they're charging. Their overhead is not your overhead. Their skill is not your skill. Their business goals are not your business goals. The only number that matters is what do you need to make per hour for your business to be profitable? Do the math, write it down. That's your baseline. Number 2, decide what kind of business you're running. What bucket are you going to be? Are you going to be transactional or are you going to be transformational? Can't do both. And if you're trying to offer a transformational service at a transactional price, you're going to burn out and resent every single client who books that. Number 3, you've got to price for transformation, not just time. So if you're running a transformational business, your pricing can't just cover your time and your product cost. It's got to reflect your years of training and education, the custom consultation and the experience, right? The experience is so important, not just the technical work. The confidence and the transformation that your client walks out with consistently. It's more than $180, a lot more. Number 4, communicate the value, not just the price. When you raise your prices, you're not just announcing a number. You've got to position yourself differently. You've got to be saying, this is premium. This is transformational. If you want access, there is going to be an investment for it. But you have a proper runway for rolling that out. And the clients who value that, they will stay, they will pay. The clients who don't, totally cool, just let them go. But here's what I want you to understand. You're not greedy by charging what you need to charge to be profitable. You're being responsible. Because if your business isn't profitable, you can't serve anybody. And your clients really need you to stay in business. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know you've been told that being affordable, even internally, makes you a good person, especially if economic changes occur. And that charging premium means that you're greedy or out of touch. But here's the truth. Staying affordable when you're running a transformational business is not noble. It is self-sabotage, because you're undervaluing the work that you do, the skill you built, results you create, and you're teaching your clients to undervalue it too. So I need to ask you, what would change if you stopped trying to be affordable and started being profitable? What if you could take a vacation without worrying about money? What if you could invest in advanced classes that you've been eyeing? What if you could finally pay yourself what you actually want? That's what's waiting for you on the other side of this shift. Not in 5 years, not when you feel ready, now. And listen, I'm going to empathize with you and say that I get it. Shifting from affordable to profitable isn't just a pricing change, it really is an identity shift. And you didn't get in this industry, though, to barely survive. You got into it because you're talented, skilled, passionate about what you do. So let's make sure your business actually reflects that. If you're sitting here thinking, okay, I need to do the math, figure out my numbers, I created a free guide for you. It's a profit sheet that you can check out in the title and the description so that you can learn how to do it too. You can grab it in the description below. And if you want the full system, not just the pricing math, but the client experience, positioning, strategy, CEO level identity work, that's exactly what we do inside my mentorship at Coming Light. You can head to the link in the description and learn more there. You're not too expensive. You're expansive. You're transformational. And it's time to price it like that. I'm going to see you in the next one.